What's popcorn to poppin', gamers? Welcome to Gamers Go to the Movies, the only podcast where we have to watch every theatrically released, Hollywood-produced video game movie adaptation. I'm your host, Noel Slamrocket, and with me is Bob.
Baby's first horror movie.
Dr. Aggro.
Yabba Dabba Doo.
And Chris Wolfart.
Been drowned.
And that's right, I've never been so scared in my life. What the fuck? This is like a jump scare from Five Fuckers at Uncle Fester's because we watched Five Nights at Freddy's. More like Five Nights at Shaggy's. Because Matthew Lillard, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I forgot he was in this till I was watching it. And not the first scene he shows up in, the second scene when the main character calls him back. I went, oh shit, that was Matthew Lillard this whole time. I feel like we established that before we watched this movie, and I forgot about it.
Yes.
That's in fact maybe the only reason you watch this trash.
After, like, I didn't know a fucking thing about Five Nights at Freddy's beyond that it was a jump scare game with animatronic monsters. After watching this and looking through the Five Nights at Freddy's wiki, we need to put Scott Cawthorn in prison.
I mean, modern day people might have that opinion for completely unrelated reasons to Five Nights at Freddy's.
also for him being a fundamentalist dipshit, which I believe shines through in this movie because he was one of the screenwriters. Like the inherent inhumanity of the way everyone in this movie behaves feels like it could only come from someone like that. But you know how like Vampire Survivors, like the developer worked on digital slot machines before that and brought that knowledge to game development?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is like that for story writing. Where, as far as I can tell, the entire points of Five Nights at Freddy's is to give tweens like lore brain.
Oh, yes. No, that's, yeah.
Oh, yes, it is very lore.
Yes.
Ugh.
Like this movie feels like if they made a Been Drowned movie, this was what that would be.
Yes.
Hell
no,
yeah.
this is laser focused. It accomplished its exact goal back in the early 10s. And honestly, kind of shocking. Kind of shocking that this movie took until 2023 to get made and still made a shitload of money. Like, it would have made so much more if it came out closer to the games, rolling out.
I mean, when are they not rolling out?
Well, I mean, they used to be annual. They used to be like mainline entries where year after year after year. I think they did 6 of them in a row. And then there were any amount of breaks to do side projects and other things. I feel like if you hit in that 2018 space, you would have made even more than 300 million.
Yeah, the Five Nights was insane back then. I mean, I only interacted with it because of working at GameStop and selling insane amounts of these toys.
Yeah, let me go ahead and throw this down. Bob, you may agree. I bet Bob sold more than $300 million worth of Funko Pops based on Five Nights.
It really did hit that magic button of, like, movie merchandise is one thing. Horror movie merchandise is another. And they made very merchandisable horror characters.
They did. They did. I'm going to go ahead and say one thing. As I'm watching this, I think the massive creativity or a bravery or perhaps ignorance to commit to the bit that is people who are young enough to consume this earnestly with no like eyebrow raising about the visual quality or anything else will totally get Chuck E. Cheese and also be creeped out like I am to this very day because of growing up in the 80s. Like that, honestly, is a leap I don't think I would have been brave enough to make. But, it works out and it makes a fantastic film.
This is, like, we have reached the point in age where the Chuck E. Cheese, the decrepit, defunct Chuck E. Cheese, is now the old mansion on the hill.
Yeah.
Like the next season of Scooby-Doo will feature the guy haunting the closed Pizza Hut.
I feel like we only reached that in the cultural space of the now because of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they can do this because Five Nights has made it that popular.
Right. It turns the vague, creepy energy of that from just a thing that was understood to people in our generation to now a timeless icon, despite the fact that they had to place this movie in the year 2000 in order for it to make sense. I'm very curious what the hell they do for the sequel. You know, at the end of this film, Matthew Lillard says, "I come back, I always do." And apparently he is in the sequel. So,
All right.
I guess he's right.
Sure. I guess.
I mean, he's some kind of weird robot necromancer. I wouldn't be at all surprised.
This movie. God.
It's really hard. Like, I don't know. It's so strange. It feels like more inhuman than the Minecraft movie to me.
Really? Oh,
Really?
wow.
I kind of am there too. It like nothing. Everyone feels so fake.
Like, the dialogue is so weird and stilted. It has like the movie isn't like childish enough to really for a lot of the things it's doing. Like, the Minecraft movie had the weird Tim Burton-esque tone in the real world. So a lot of the Stranger Things kind of were supported by that. But in this, it's like, ma'am, do you know how much a monthly custody payment is?
Yeah, it doesn't come off as childish. It comes off as just absolutely stupid and ignorant.
Right. Whereas the Minecraft movie is incredibly corporate product, very laser focused on being the exact thing of not giving a shit and doing fucking neuron firing garbage stuff at moment to moment in the dumbest way you can imagine. This is just amateur. That's why I don't see it as inhuman. It's just bad writing. That's how it comes across to me.
It's bad writing in such an inhuman way to me, because like with that monthly payment subplot, I'm just like, Scott Cawthon believes in welfare queens.
Yes. No, it's true.
Oh
That's
my
all that
God.
is.
That absolutely is. If you read the tea leaves, you can see the dipshit behind the curtain. 100% true.
I couldn't stop thinking of the Futurama episode where Bender adopts a bunch of kids for the $100 a week stipend you get. And he's like, wait a minute, these kids are costing me $110 a week, and then throws them all out. And it's like, but the whole point of the movie is that the main character's a broke ass.
Yep.
Like, why do you? It clearly isn't any real amount of money. I don't understand this plot.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like that, the government check thing being what it is, the rest of the movie I read is more of like the high Nickelodeon era kids movie, where, yeah, maybe the premise doesn't exactly check out if you think about it too hard, because the movie is designed for 12-year-olds.
I feel like Clock Stoppers was a lot more cogent to film.
Well, you got to compare this to something a little bit closer in tone and, horror and corporatism and product placement. So you got to compare this to Good Burger.
I think those movies, both of them stand up more.
Now you just made me think of like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Every random episode that was scarier than this.
You know, I haven't seen that since it first aired. Maybe.
maybe it doesn't hold up.
For a series that's entirely about jump scares, I feel like there wasn't really an effective one in this movie.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because as we were watching it, Bob and I had a whole conversation about that. I'm like, so there's a middle part of this movie where people, in order to get this man fired from his job of being we haven't talked about the plot at all, I just realized.
No.
In order to get this man fired from his job being the security officer overnight at a dilapidated and abandoned Five Nights, or rather, Freddy Fazbear, I believe. Is that right? Is that his last name? Okay.
Yeah.
Eatery / amusement thing. He has to watch it overnight in order to get him fired, so that way his aunt can get custody of his sister that he's taking care of because their parents are dead, and so is his brother. They break in during the daytime, time he is not there, to fuck the place up, and the animatronics come to life and the jump scares happen and they kill all of them. What immediately follows is a police officer he had just met who spent the night there the night before showing up in his place and going, people broke in. You better help me solve this or else you're really in trouble. And then they sit along a river and talk about their backstories. And then he goes to work the next night and there's no investigating the bodies or anything else. Anyways, if those people didn't do that in the middle of the movie, there would be virtually no jump scares in the whole fucking thing. But it's basically the very intro and that sequence.
The thing is, it feels like they have jump scares, gigantic air quotes, all throughout the movie, but they film them in a way where they don't come off as jump scares. Like, they're afraid to actually scare kids. They don't want to do that. So you get like...
Yeah.
Which is crazy because that's the entire identity of the series is really jarring ones.
They have a saw machine that's a mask in this and a fucking ribcage destroyer vice.
Yes.
That they have to cut away from every single time they're used because it's PG-13.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, as Bob was talking about, they film a thing, but they don't want to film it in the most impactful way because it would be too scary. There's a moment where you're watching a character, they're in the foreground on the right, but a fan starts to move to let you know spooky things are going to happen. If you look, and I'm sorry, I don't know all of the characters' names. I believe the bird that was yellow is named Chica. Walks past behind the fan in the most, did you notice the man in the bear suit shit possible.
Yeah, it was real good.
I laughed so hard and I had to roll it back because I was the only one who noticed when we were watching, and then everyone laughed.
Oh no. Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so fucking funny. This movie is funny, but not intentionally.
No.
It does feel like they were given a blanket mandate to not have it be a full-on horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like those movies from the 80s where it's a kids movie, but a couple of real fucked up things happen in it.
I maybe this is just me. Watching the whole movie, I was just like, our main character's Kmart brand Aaron Paul. I don't know.
I also thought that. That is the first thing I thought when I saw him. I'm like, Aaron Paul said no, huh? Like, that was the first thing out of my mouth after the opening scene. It's like, oh yeah, Aaron Paul didn't answer your calls, did he?
I'm so glad it wasn't just me.
That's rough.
I think that guy was in the Hunger Games.
He was. Yeah.
Just something about the way he looks in that opening scene specifically.
Also, vocally, he's going for an Aaron Paul burnt out sound. I don't know if that's his normal acting vibe. I haven't seen the Hunger Games. I'm now really curious if he always has that vibe. I don't know. It's just fucking hilarious. Also worth noting, Aaron Paul was BoJack Horseman's roommate, Todd. So most of my exposure to him is that specifically instead of Breaking Bad, because that's who I am. I find it way too funny that me and Chris are both watching going, Jesus, Aaron Paul said no.
Yeah, like the tone of this movie really is so strange to me because all the stuff with this very childish like plot of the evil aunt wants custody for the massive monthly custody payment. It feels like it genuinely to me feels that like that plot point specifically feels like it started with them being like for money and she wanted the fortune, but then they're like, well then he can't, why is he working at the Five Nights at Freddy's? I guess we better just have the stupidest version of that.
Yeah, I honestly, it was such a bad excuse. I was waiting for another shoe to drop and not to find out something else.
Like, I don't, like, he says she's in it for the check. I don't think she ever makes mention of it. She just seems to be, like, basically awful and just wants control of that child.
Yeah, I'm speaking from experience here. I definitely know that type of person who they don't care about the individual, not in it for the money, literally in it because they're a bored white woman who needs drama. I've literally seen firsthand custody battles that are exactly that, and it's so fucking like there's a very real chance that's what they're going for with that character. But I do think possibly the movie has the expectation or understanding that it's for the money, which is insane.
God, she's got really strong villain from Casper energy.
Yes, and that's kind of what I'm talking about with the tone, is that it sets up all these pieces that you can see very clearly how they would function in a normal kids movie, like in the Nick live action shit. But it's played like so bizarrely seriously that it just like it comes off as people genuinely discussing these cartoonish plot points, which just makes it seem weird.
I just feel like this entire movie would have been elevated if someone, it could be anyone, came out at the end of the movie and had some spooky music playing, and then they went, can a children's drawing really speak to the dead? And who was operating those animatronics? Why did he keep taking those sleeping meds while on the clock?
Oh my, yeah, if you cut this down to 30 minutes, this is a ripping episode of Twilight Zone.
This movie's script may be beyond belief.
and maybe what I kind of figured out going through the wiki is that this genuinely seems like it was hyper keyed to the Five Nights at Freddy audience, which it obviously was. It made $300 million on a $20 million budget.
Yeah, this movie,
like Minecraft was powered by children. This was powered by the narrower purview of people insane about Five Nights at Freddy's lore.
Yes, it is absolutely full of member berries and deep cuts and other references and things. It also has, for people who missed it, in the diner, Matt Pat showing up to say that's just a theory that breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Jesus.
Yep. Sure did.
And also the cab driver was Corey X Kenshin, another YouTuber / internet famous human being, as it were.
Oh.
So those two cameos were so funny. The Matt Pat one seems kind of set up, except for, well, I don't know. That seems pretty funny. The cabbie one is a little rough in that it's such a tiny slice. Like, they barely introduce the character. But that's okay. We come back to do another scene with them at the end.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
One thing this movie does incredibly well that I really enjoyed was while the little sister is having her I made a bunch of magical friends arc, usually when that's happening, we're on the eye level with the child, that it's a lot of fun, and the adults just don't understand.
Yes.
But we're up here with the older brother, and holy shit, what the fuck is going on? We need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's like if you use The Shining as the middle ground between these two worlds, you perfectly leapfrog to the opposite end past that. The dead speak, and this dude's just like, let's just get out of here. And I'm like, you should come back with a gas can and a lighter.
Yeah, no,
Right?
That guy is canonically brain fried.
I think it's the amount of hoops they jump through to have Five Nights at Freddy's, whatever this establishment is called, not be raided by police or destroyed in any way feels insane. Because like they have the lady cop go on the whole spiel about there's no way anyone would believe that the children's corpses are actually inside these animatronics, not just their souls. It's like, I think that they would have noticed that. I feel like you would have checked everywhere in this place for 5 missing kids in the 80s. You wouldn't just be like, that'd be crazy. Who would put them in there?
Well,
that is the hand wave of the premise.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. There's that whole thing of like, Chris has brought it up before, the amount of serial killers and other people who got away with it by going, we were practicing for a thing.
I guess the implication is that the villain's daughter is covering it up.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah.
she had a fucked up childhood. She's scared of her dad. He's kind of controlling her, and yeah, she's just sort of trying to keep this quiet and run out the clock.
I'm like, you could just shoot him in the head. He's just a guy.
Unless.
I get that he's in the next one, but it would be so much funnier if he wasn't. It's like he was wrong.
Yeah, he was
Why would he have thought that?
Turns out he doesn't come back.
Yeah,
He's dead in the kitchen.
Like, you didn't display anything that showed you would come back before this.
Yeah, like that's a thing that you would know if you were a Five Nights at Freddy's fan.
Right.
I mean, again, he is a powerful robot necromancer.
That's true.
Or he strapped batteries to these one-sided kids and it worked out.
That could also be true.
I mean, that's how you break into robot necromancy. You throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
It's about baby steps.
It's about stepping on these babies.
I'm not going to be able to live well with myself if I don't post this image and say, that's also the face Matt Pat makes when the Pope doesn't play Undertale.
So I certainly hope we escape the Gamers Go to the Movies show before we have to endure this, but anybody else looking forward to the Hello Neighbor movie just being this, but like even shittier?
What if it's this, but better?
No.
It's so easy to imagine.
It literally has the same people involved.
Excuse me?
What?
It literally has many of the same people involved.
I believe in people can change. People could change. They could get better.
So the part at the end where the villain is like being like the girl has drawn the picture telling the souls of the children that he is the person who killed them.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts like berating them. I thought of Family Guy.
You thought of Family Guy?
Yes, I thought of that scene from an early season of Family Guy where the guy is going, "You're a phony," and just following him around, pointing and yelling at that, because it just seemed so ludicrous.
I mean, that's pretty much your standard wizard about to be eaten or killed by the thing he had summoned / created sequence.
True.
Like the way Matthew Lillard portrays this character is so fucking deranged. And not in a way where he's like scary, but in a way of where like he comes off like a man-child.
I mean, yeah, I got serious vibes of a bunch of adult men I grew up in church with.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
gee, I wonder if the person who wrote this who went to a religious college might have had anything I wonder if Matthew Lillard met him and put some of that tone into his performance.
No actor would ever do that. What's that? George Costanza famously did this.
Looks at Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil famously did that. Oh. That's such a funny move to make every time. Oh, your performance was great. Yeah, I'm just impersonating you.
Did anybody else expect the building to kind of like magically go away somehow after they escaped?
Yeah, I mean,
like, I don't
it's the kind
know.
of thing that happens in the endings of movies like this.
I expected it to burn down or like completely collapse.
Right, but we didn't do anything to free or set to rest the souls of the children.
Right.
We just had them murk that guy. And like it's not him holding this together. It's all tied up in the building itself. So,
But yeah, I would even expect to be like, well, Five Nights itself disappears, but it could appear anywhere.
oh, that's fucked up. Is that a thing in the lore? I don't know.
I don't know.
From what I gathered reading it, the lore is very basic. Like, it's like a shitty creepypasta. It's like, well, now I have to reveal the secret. Oh god, I never thought I'd have to do that.
Yeah, I figured it accreted game over game, and that this was just like a running down the list of everything we ever had to say, and that's why super fans would have loved it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to keep track of it when the movie started, and I forgot. Did this take place over 5 nights?
Yes.
Okay.
I kept track because I kept making jokes non-fucking stop the whole time while watching it.
Yeah, I kind of lost count. I thought that it was like 4 nights in a day.
Does that include the opening scene with the old security guard?
No, I believe I only counted the guy working there, Aaron Paul.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyone else think that it's just weird that none of the kids were the main character's lost brother? Like, that was just some other random kid that he had killed.
No,
Yeah, it was before he got real evil.
Right?
It's not.
I
our
mean, he
problem.
only had so many suits.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's for a sequel.
That is a deeply weird angle for seemingly no reason. Like, it just would have been a better movie if his brother was one of the kids that was killed at this place. Like, it would have made the main character sticky. Like, it would have made every single part make more sense. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, it does just feel strange.
I do wonder if we're going to visit that more in the sequel, or are we just dropping that angle entirely?
Yeah, like I was totally expecting it to turn out, oh yeah, no, some other guy nabbed Garrett. That has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, that would also have made sense, but instead, it feels like we got the weirdest version of like, no, he did kill the brother, but that had nothing to do with the event of this movie.
Don't worry. In the beginning of the next movie, they'll cover it in a fucking intro that's narrated. So it's like post hoc put in to be like, by the way, my brother was found. He died. Da, 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 da. Anyway, 5 fuckers at Uncle Fester's is back, and we have to destroy it. This is going to be an exciting segment to get to. Just having to give our ratings on this and work through what it is. I want to give this movie an award for being subpar or mediocre in a way that is novel compared to every other movie we watched. There is a certain level of bad in this that is so sincerely pegged to the screenwriting. And it's not budgetary limits or anything else. It's just, yeah, nobody acts like a fucking human. Nothing in this makes sense. We just had a giant murder and our main character's too busy popping sleeping pills and reading his dream theory book, trying to save his brother in his mind palace, to when he gets to work realize there are multiple dead bodies in the building. It's just, that is unlike any other film we've had to watch here on Gamers Go to the Movies. And so I appreciate that. I, however, completely loathe that we have to watch a sequel. I hope it finds a way to make it worthwhile.
Two sequels, because they're doing a third.
Don't talk about it. I don't want to hear about that. Speaking of that incident of them breaking in during the day to cause him to lose his night shift job.
And may remind me of the game Night Trap. Yes.
The lady cop, which I know that we know that she's like not a real, something else is going on with her, and she's not maybe not top. But she says that they'll get him for criminal negligence for not locking the place up, when she is shown the scene where he is locking the place up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another part of like, yeah, a guy who doesn't understand society at all was one of the primary screenwriters of this movie.
Uh-huh. You work as a security guard at some time in this building.
That
means you're responsible for it at all times.
How do you measure the damages to a building that was like, to a business that was closed for 40 years?
Right?
Oh, I've known some weirdos who own properties they don't use who would be completely freaked out. You can charitably read that scene as her freaking out because a bunch of people just died in the building she's been trying to keep secret forever, and trying to, I mean, she just rushes over to his house to reinstill in him the necessity for keeping people out of the building, even though none of that is his fault, because she, like every other main character in this movie, is absolutely basically not operating on a reasonable level. Like, these are all damaged freaks.
It's true. That is the movie I watched. I was really sad that his coworker at the security job at the mall didn't come back at any point.
Yeah. Oh my God. That scene at the mall, like before they explain the trauma and what his deal is, when he sees a kid get grabbed roughly, and not like, I was ready for the scene to be like embarrassing, where he stops the guy and whoops, I made a mistake, not tackles him into a fountain and beats the shit out of it.
Is it bad that I immediately understood and was like, okay, well, cool, we're doing this movie, never address it? Like, we're just, this man is damaged. You're going to get these tiny hints of why, and we're not. No, immediately Matthew Lillard has to have the talk.
It does kind of feel like from another movie almost, even though it does follow with the trauma.
Because that is his thing.
Like,
It's
it almost
about trauma.
feels like a scene from a fucking Paul Blart.
If Paul Blart ever went that hardcore on anyone, that would have been incredible. I don't even think he does that for the terrorists. All we needed was the shot of our main character making one of them bite the corner of the fountain as he just goes to stomp their head in.
Jesus.
This was so fucking hardcore. And it's like one of the first things in the movie. And I'm like, damn, that's awesome. Oh, he's going to spend the rest of the movie being EP and popping sleep drugs.
Yeah, we'll never do anything even remotely like this again.
I mean, the most hardcore thing he did after that, and feel free to correct me, is throw a bucket full of piss on a stage and then tase it. Because we don't know what fluid was in that bucket, but there was a bucket full of fluid next to a stage at a Chuck E. Cheese. I have to assume.
Right. It's what they just drained out of the ball pit. 40 years ago.
40 years ago. A fine vintage of piss. Anyway, any last comments, praises, criticisms, etc. before we move on to our segments where we give it thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, and talk about the star power, faithfulness, and etc.
Why did he wear the suit that had the things that could dig into his own stomach? Like, why did he do that?
Because he's crazy.
Yeah, I assume it's part of him controlling the other ones.
Yeah, that's why, like, she has to put up the picture because they can't go against the gold rabbit.
And that required knives that stick into his stomach?
Well, that was the suit that existed.
Okay.
It was a machine built in the 80s, Bob. It kills people.
Yeah, that's, you know.
well, why would he be worried? He always comes back.
That's true, Bob. You have such a myopic, ant-like perspective on this. Well, let's go ahead and get to it. But before we do, did you know you could support this endeavor to subject many people in their late 30s to 5 nights at Freddy's by going over to patreon.com/gbpodcast to support us, help us pay our rent, eat some food. Also, you can get access to Isolation 119, the arguably superior horror film involving a guy not acting normal in the least as a series of events unfold. That is patreon.com/gbpodcast. Let's get to it. Gentlemen, I need to know whether you give this a thumb up, thumb down, or thumb sideways. Let's start with Dr. Agra.
I am going to give this movie a thumbs up. There are, as stated, some weird hiccups in the script. I think everyone acting the way they do works within the framework of the story. I think it's visually very well done. It's interesting the whole way through, being the weird, multi-layered lore dump that it is. I think it's a quirky, little, not scary horror movie, and I think it's pretty good.
I'm going to give this a barely thumb sideways. I think it's just interesting enough to escape how incredibly amateur a lot of the things about it are. I am glad that it is, in some ways, professionally shot, qualitatively speaking, objectively, if not subjectively and artistically. I think it just barely escapes a thumbs down. I would put this right there next to the Rampage movie. Chris, what do you think?
I find this movie repugnant, so I have no choice but to give it a thumbs down. It just feels like an evil mind trap for neurodivergent children.
Understandable.
I think there's some real parallel between the villain of this, like, enslaving the souls of children, and what Scott Cawthon has done to children through this fucking series.
And Bob.
Yeah, I have to be much more on the side of Chris here. Like, this is offensive, honestly. I feel like made for children, derogatory in like one of the worst ways. genuinely one of the worst movies we watched for the show. Thumbs way down.
Well, then we'll start with you, Bob. Is this worse than Tekken?
Yes.
I'll jump to me. I feel like it's a little too interesting and professionally made to be worse than Tekken for me. I probably will hate the sequel. I will probably hate that so much. But the experience of viewing this has been uniquely fascinating, and it's standing in the pantheon of video game movies, and they served the fans possibly to the detriment of normal people watching. I won't say it's worse than Tekken. How do you feel, though, Chris?
This is a hard one because, it being ontologically evil is, separate from any discussions of its quality. Yeah, meth can also be of high quality.
True.
The creators know because they wanted Aaron Paul. No, I don't. It is not quite as bad as Tekken. I do hate it more, though.
And aggro.
No, this is not worse than Tekken. It has both accurate costumes and a decent physical confrontation or two in it.
Well, next up is star power. This is a scale 1 to 5 of what we think the star power for the movie is and what the draw was. Reminder, the brands cannot come into account here. It must be the actors and cast, which is why I will give it a staggering, massive 2 for Matthew Lillard and Matt Pat. Genuinely, I can guarantee, human beings who were children at the time, possibly, who showed up and put their butt in a seat because Matthew Patthew was in this film.
That is almost certain.
Mm-hmm.
So I give it 2, because that's how many stars there are in this power. It definitely could have used more Matthew Lillard. It is just depressing when he disappears for most of the film, because they need to have the twist.
Maybe the sequel will have way more.
I assume. It better. God damn it. Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 2. There wasn't anybody in this movie but Matthew Lillard.
And Matthew Patthew. A lot of Matthew, actually, if you think about it. Dr. Aggro?
No, you hit it exactly. It's Matt Pat to the rescue. The guy who played Pete is in it, but I don't think there's a lot of crossover for that.
Wait. Pete from Pete and Pete?
No, PETA from Hunger Games.
Okay. I got really scared that somehow Pete from Pete and Pete snuck past me in this film. That would have been scary.
Yeah, I definitely would have noticed that.
Like adult Danny Tamborelli in the Five Nights movie.
Yes, that would. If I found out I watched that movie and missed Danny Tamborelli being in it, that would shake me to my core in a way nothing in this film could have hoped to. Bob, we're coming to you.
Yeah, it's got to be 2. Matthew Lillard is there in real. Matt Pat is there, and we even have this Kmart brand Aaron Paul with Josh Hutcherson. It's great.
It's good enough. Well, we're moving on to the next one. Before we get to this, in a segment I wanted to get into earlier, but we really jumped into the discussion of the plot of the movie, of the tone, immediately giving me no time to ask, what is everyone's exposure to Five Nights at Freddy's? We start with Dr. Aggro.
I've seen maybe a cumulative 5 minutes of clips of it. And everything else I have absorbed via the osmosis of living in the culture.
Chris.
That's also where I am, yeah.
I have played a very small amount of the first Five Nights at Freddy's. And the rest of what Dr. Aggro said also applies to me. Bob.
I never played the games, but I worked at GameStop during the peak of this franchise's popularity, so I've seen every single character and variation thereof sold as a toy.
That's awesome. Oh, man. An entire an entire pantheon, an entire canon, a world of characters all viewed through Funko lenses.
They did real toys. Those actually sold
Okay.
better than the Funkos.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm going to give this 100. Seems right to me. I don't know that anything is different, even one iota from the video game. I've given my perspective, so it may be flawed, but I'm shooting my shot. Dr. Aggro, what do you estimate?
I feel like there was something in the game about managing the electricity and turning different lights on and a powered security door,
Well,
and
they
none of
kinda-
that really showed up.
They kind
We-
of did
we
that in the
mentioned-
middle when
yeah.
the guys invaded during the day. It was kind of the funniest part of that scene was when one guy, instead of running out of the whole place, instead ran into the security room and started doing security feed shit, and then had to hold back the critter that was crawling through the air duct. It was very ham-fisted into the film, and I laughed.
No, but I mean like light management and then, like I said, that powered security door. It was a whole, like, the actual gameplay element I don't think was represented in as much as I know about it. So I'm going to give it like a 90.
Chris.
Yeah, this feels like accurate to the point of being detrimental to everyone who isn't already in. So the reason it's not getting a 100 is because Matthew Lillard isn't wearing purple face paint. 95.
Yet.
Yeah.
That sequel may get 100. And Bob.
Yeah, all these suits look really accurate. I'll give it 100.
Let's move on to, is this a suitable substitute for the game? Hey, Chris, what do you think?
No, because you need to already be deeply in to get things out of this movie.
Jesus.
Aggro?
Sure, this movie listed everything I knew about Five Nights lore.
I'm going to say if you watch this movie, you're already in. Yes, this is a suitable substitute. Bob.
Yeah, I think I'll also go with yes, just because I feel like I've seen everything I'd ever want to know about Five Nights now. I wish I knew less, in fact.
This is what I want out of gamers go to the movies. Oh, man. The next category is, should this have gotten a video game adaptation? I'm going to say no. Reason being... Well, actually, wait. I'm turning around.
Oh?
Yes, for one reason. I think it would be funny for them to do Five Nights at Freddy's 1 again, but all of the assets for the animatronics are these. What was it? Jim Henson company did these. So
yeah.
if we could scan those in to replace the sprites and a bunch of other stuff like that, that is exactly what I would want. I would want the dumb remake of Five Nights at Freddy's with higher fidelity assets from this movie. To be clear, that may have happened. I don't know that it didn't. Dr. Aggro, should this have been made into a video game again?
No, I'm going to stay the course on that one. I don't see how you would remake this into a Five Nights at Freddy's game and not just make it a weird, bloated, worse version of a Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Well, that's the secret.
Chris?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure that'll happen eventually. He likes money.
And Bob?
There is no world in which I can justify more Five Nights at Freddy's games being made. There are far too many of these. So no.
Fair. Okay. Should there be an FMV game? I'm going to say no, because while there are segments where they do the thing in Five Nights at Freddy's, there's not enough footage. They didn't do it enough. This would not make a good Sega CD style FMV game. I feel like there's just not enough moments for you to hit buttons and see a thing happen. Aggro, what do you think?
Yeah, no, you're right. This is not that kind of movie. There's not enough scenes you could break that down into. Absolutely not.
Chris?
No, I don't think it would work out.
And Bob?
I want to say yes, simply because the people editing the FMV game could make the jump scares real. Like, actually make them jump scares.
Like they cut in the scares from the regular games.
Sure.
But I'm going to say no, because once again, that would be another Five Nights at Freddy's game. There's already one of those every year. We don't need more.
So this is a moral position, not a logistical one.
Yes.
And frankly, might be the correct position. And the final category, and possibly the most derogatory, is this movie normal person friendly? Chris.
I'm going to say no. This movie is very specifically only friendly to people who are already into Five Nights at Freddy's. I actually think, like, for once they really did make the adaptation hyper-focused on those people because they knew there was enough of them.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say this just comes off as a bit more child-appropriate Blumhouse horror film. I'm going to say this is very normal person friendly. I don't think you bring a normal person into this and they just go, I didn't understand this part. And you go, oh, the lore, because it's all there. Regrettably, Dr.
Except
Aggro.
for why he would even ever say, I always come back.
Yeah, no, that's a hilariously bad guy, insane thing to say at the end of the film.
Yeah, this movie really does throw like the B-grade horror movie vibes where they spend most of the movie setting up the weird premise. And then by the end of it, like you may have additional questions about the mechanism, but they really laid it all out. I would say this is normal, audience friendly.
And Bob.
I think this question is a strange one because Five Nights at Freddy's is so popular, like so massively known. Are they normal people?
So you're saying Five Nights at Freddy's is more of a normie game?
Yes.
I mean, it is. I could easily see the situation where my friend who was into Five Nights way too much as a kid doesn't even play video games now.
Right, exactly. So I guess I'm going to go with yes because they have become normal.
Oh, no! Oh, my God.
If you were into Five Nights at Freddy's at any point, you will never be normal.
I'm sorry. I love that Bob's like, well, microplastics are everywhere, so that's normal.
Yes.
Well, this has been a delightfully fresh new experience in the Grand Pantheon of video game movies for us here at Gamers Go to the Movies. We hope you look forward to the next one where we don't watch the movie just based on Matthew Lillard is in it. Or do we? I frankly just want to get this over with and go straight into Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Okay.
What is wrong with
Yeah!
Jesus. I want to watch a movie that's not complete trash once this year.
That's not what we signed up for. I'm sorry.
The executive producers for this month's GigaBoots videos are Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Cooper Tank, BN12, and Rado. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these guys. If you want to become an executive producer or a normal patron, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.